remember the pack house has a dungeon. I do, though. I have a little room in the back that used to be a solitary confinement cell. I have a cot and an old tattered blanket to keep me warm. I even scored a lamp out of the trash. It still works. So, I have light to do my homework. Oh, yeah, I should introduce myself. My name is Talia, but no one calls me Talia except for teachers on the first day of schooling. I'm more popular as the Wolfless Freak. I'm a werewolf in the Red Moon Pack. Since I'm an orphan, I'm not completely sure how old I am, but pretty sure I'm 16. Also, I'm an Omega, which means I'm a servant. My job is to make the meals for the werewolves who live in the pack house. Between making breakfast and dinner for over 100 wolves, cleaning up after them, and restocking the pantries of the ranked members' apartments on the 3rd and 4th floors, I do normal teenager stuff. Except, I don't have a lot of spare time to do so. Homework is the extent of living my teen life. Right now, it's 11:30 in the night. I'm putting the finishing touches on my English essay when I hear the door of the dungeon slam open. Great. Now what did I do? It doesn't take much. Alpha Edward is an alcoholic. It's really difficult for werewolves to get drunk, which means you have to drink heavily to feel the effects. This means he probably had a fight with Luna Layla about his drinking, which means she locked him out of their room, which means he has come down to take out his anger on me. Just an average Tuesday in the pack house. I know the drill. I'm already on my feet waiting for him. Alpha Edward, what can I do for you? I ask with my eyes looking at the floor. I keep my hands clasped in front of me, trying to look as small as possible. Without a word, a whiskey bottle whizzes past my ear and smashes against the wall above my cot. I flinch and can't help but start to tremble and hug myself. Whatever is about to happen, it's going to be worse than usual. He lunges forward and grabs me by the throat with both hands. I feel tears coming to my eyes as the lack of oxygen turns the edges of my vision dark. I desperately claw at his hands, trying to escape his grip, but it's no use. He picks me up by the neck, so I'm at face level with him. His eyes are pitch, indicating his wolf ruckus is at the surface. His breath stinks because of alcohol. I start gagging and choking from the lack of oxygen. Without warning, he throws me across the room as if I weigh nothing. My back slams against the wall, and I land on my back on the cot. The shards of the broken bottle pierce the skin on my back through my thin t-shirt. The whiskey makes the cuts burn. I try to muffle a scream as the pain sears through me. He comes across the room and picks me up roughly by the hair. I feel the shards of glass cutting deeper as he pulls me up. He throws me to the ground. The glass bits are grinding deeper into my back. I can feel something wet soaking through my shredded shirt. I don't dare move and make him even madder. I feel my ribs snap when his foot makes contact. One of his feet lands on my jaw. I feel a sickening snap rattle in my brain. The metallic taste instantly fills my mouth. Alpha Edward has been using me as his punching bag for years, but this was way more intense than it has ever been before. In the past couple of years, he started dipping the whip in wolfsbane, which makes me heal slower, so now I have gnarly scars across my back and arms. I manage to eke out. My voice is small and garbled. He abruptly stops and walks out of the room. He comes back a moment later with the whip and starts lashing my back relentlessly. The whip is dripping with wolfsbane. The lashes, combined with the glass shards still in my back, combined with the wolfbane, are too much. My vision turns blurry and I pass out. Numbness surrounds me. Is this what being dead is like? It's peaceful, but a little bit boring. At least I don't have to feed the pack. Oh, dang. I didn't get a chance to turn in that English essay. It was a good one, too. The constant soft beeps are soothing. I don't know how long I've been dead, but I feel like I want to open my eyes, ready to take on the afterlife. After what seems like forever, I'm able to open my eyes and find I'm alone in soft comfort in a brightly lit, clean room. This is the afterlife? Maybe this is some sort of waiting area. But where's the lobby? Is there a receptionist? My mind slowly becomes more clear and I realize I'm not dead. I'm in the pack hospital. I need to leave before the Alpha finds me outside the dungeon. I can barely move my body. Every move causes excruciating pain. I start to panic, making the beeps in the room become faster. Oh, I'm hooked up to a bunch of machines. I try to figure out how to unhook them so no one hears the noises. Too late. I hear people in the hallway getting closer. I try to sit up. I need to ignore the pain. I have to escape. I slowly slide off the side of the bed. My legs were wobbly. The tubes and wires sticking out of me prevent me from getting too far. The door opens, and the pack doctor comes in with a nurse. The doctor is an older person.
Talia, you're awake. Let's get you back on the mat, shall we?
The doctor says gently. He and the nurse come to either side of me and reach out to hold my arms. A deep growl escapes my chest. Don't touch me, I snap, shaking them off. My voice is scratchy and raw, and my mouth feels like 1,000 needles are poking into it.
It's all right, Talia. No one is going to hurt you here. We're trying to help you heal. Let's get you back to it, and I'll get you a drink of water.
The doctor raises his hands in surrender. I look at him hesitantly before the nurse hands me a cup of water with a straw. The water feels good on my throat. The doctor sits in the chair beside the bed as the nurse checks my vitals and starts messing with the tubes and wires attached to me.
Talia, you had surgery to remove hundreds of shards of glass from your back. We also had to reset some ribs, your jaw, and you had a lot of wolfsbane in your blood. We gave you a transfusion to clear it from your system so you could heal. You're lucky your wound isn't so serious.
Sure about that last part, doctor? I think to myself.
When the pack realized breakfast had not been prepared, Tony went to get you and then found you on the ground in your, room.
He looked at me with sympathy.
Talia, who did this to you? It's a crime. That could be grounds for banishment from the pack.
I can't answer him. I stare at my hands on my lap quietly. How can I tell him Alpha Edward is the one who caused this? There's no way he'd believe me. Even if he did, what are they going to do? Banish the Alpha? Fat chance of that. I decide my best move is to just shake my head no. I don't want to get out of the pack for lying. I have nowhere to go. I would be nothing.
Okay, let's move on to the next question. When do you turn 17?
He looks at the papers inside his folder. I don't know exactly, sir. I say honestly. He looks at me with a furrowed brow. He glances at the nurse and asks her to give us privacy for a few minutes. Am I in trouble? I just woke up. I don't know what I could have done.
You don't know your birthday, Talia?
My father brought me here when I was a baby. He was a bad guy. Alpha Edward, well, I feel my face burning with embarrassment. My hands tremble and tears threaten to escape my eyes. I didn't think I would have to tell the story to the doctor. I thought everyone already knew. My father was a bad guy. Alpha Edward ended his life for coming into pack territory without permission. They didn't realize he was carrying a baby until they unzipped his jacket and saw I was tucked inside. It was a miracle I survived. Since I was just a baby, they couldn't just get rid of me, but they didn't know anything about me. I was wrapped in a blanket that had the name Talia embroidered on it. So that is what they called me. My father could have been a kidnapper for all I know. The only reason they gave me the last name Jackman is because after they took down my father, they looked through his wallet to identify him. The only form of ID he had was a library card that said Brian Jackman on it. I've tried an internet search for his name on the computer in the school library before. Nothing comes up in the search.
You don't need to finish. I know what happened to your father. I know what happened to your father.
Well, after that happened, Luna Layla took me in until I was old enough to start school. Then she moved me into the dungeon. I've kind of been on my own since then. I never found out when my actual birthday was. And to be honest, you're the first person who has ever asked. I mean, I guess I'm 16. My wolf hasn't woken up yet. The doctor nods, looking at me with pity, almost like he cares. He asks me a few more questions about my medical history. There's nothing to speak of. I don't remember ever being treated by a doctor before. He closes the folder and tucks his pen into his shirt pocket.
Well, I know you haven't had a chance to look in the mirror yet, but when you do, you may find you look a little different. Don't be alarmed. I've done as many tests as I could think of, and it is not medically related.
Yes, sir? I assume he means I'm healing faster, but why did he need me to look in the mirror? Why not just tell me? I look at the nurse who is staring at me. When she realizes I caught her, her eyes dart away. What's that about? Okay, lady. Rude?
I'll leave you now.
You can go in the bathroom and wash up. Just take that bowl with the IV solution with you. There are lounge shorts and fresh underwear in the bag. You need to leave the hospital gown on until your back heals. All right?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Diane. She nods and leaves the room. It's the first time in my life people have been kind to me. I mean, I think it's part of their job, but still. All I have known so far were insults, physical misery, and hard work. Never any kindness. Never any. I feel like I can trust the doctor, but I'm still wary of Nurse Diane. The way she stared at me just now makes me uncomfortable. I pick up the duffel bag and go to the bathroom. I avoid looking in the mirror. Everything in the bathroom is fresh. There's a shower, but I'm worried the pressure of the water will hurt my back. I decided to fill the tub halfway and get in. The water is warm and soothing. There's a washcloth and a fresh bar of soap. I clean myself until the water is gross. I drain the tub, wipe out the ring of dirt around the edge, and fill it again. The water is not nearly as dirty as this time when I finish washing. I find it hard to raise my hands, but I don't want to call the nurse to help me. I gently wash my hair, dry off, and wrap the soft towel around my head. There's a toothbrush and a small tube of paste on the shelf by the sink. I'm living in the lap of luxury in the Pack Hospital. I pick them up and start brushing my teeth. I can't avoid it anymore. I need to look in the mirror. I finally worked up the courage to take a peek. What I see makes me drop the toothbrush. My face is still covered in bruises, but that's not what made me drop the toothbrush. The iris of my left eye is violet, not like a shade of blue that could be a little purple in the right light. No, my right pupil is still the drab gray I'm used to, but my left pupil looks crazy. I blink my eyes hard a few times. Still the same. I tried rubbing my eye, but it doesn't make a difference. There's no mistaking it. My eye is bright, practically glowing. Violet. As I tilt my head to the side to brush my hair, I notice a chunk of my hair has changed color. Instead of my normal, mousy brown, it is silvery gray. Okay, seriously now, and what is going on? What is happening to me? Is this a trick? Is there bleach in the shampoo or something? If it is a trick, it isn't funny. I pick up the bottle and smell it. It smells like strawberries, not bleach. Weird. I have never heard of a wolf's eye or hair color changing when they are coming of age, but that's what the doctor thinks is happening. Diane comes in just after lunch with paperwork and pamphlets for me. She hands me another little bag.
Just a little something to help you stay incognito until you are finished healing.
Thank you for everything. There is a round hat in the bag. How do I look? I ask as I model them for her. She giggles at my poses.
You're a star, darling.
Maybe she isn't so bad after all. She gives me a gentle hug and sends me on my way. I have another 2 hours before I need to start prepping dinner. I decided to take my new clothes to my room and clean up the mess down there before this. Something smells different as I walk down the hallway of the dungeon. Like a cleaning solution. I turn on my lamp to find the room has been transformed. My lamp is not sitting on an old stack of milk crates. It is on a nightstand. There's a new bed, too. My old cot is gone. I have a proper mattress, complete with new sheets and blankets. There is also a small desk and chair with all my school books arranged in a basket next to it. I must be dreaming. That, or I walked into someone else's room by accident. Except no one else lives down here. You can barely tell it was an old dungeon cell. It looks like what I imagine a dorm room would look like. I peek out of the doorway to make sure I am in the right place. I seem to be. I walk over and sit carefully on the bed, as though it will disappear if I move too fast. It is like a cloud. Gray and turquoise linens are fresh and new. There are even 2 pillows. I never had a proper pillow before, let alone 2. As far as I know, Diane is the only one who came down here while I was in the hospital. Could she have had all this done? Surely she will get in trouble when Alpha Edward finds out. Then I remember she doesn't know how much the Alpha hates me. I don't know how I'm going to explain it when he finds out. But I won't tattle on anyone for trying to help me either. I put my new clothes away in the drawers of the nightstand. I stash the duffel bag under the mattress. Once I am 17, I will figure out a way to get out of this place. Find a new pack that will accept a violet-eyed weakling of a wolf. I sit at the desk and write a thank you letter to the doctor and Nurse Diane. I turn in the chair to look around my new room. I am in awe that someone would do this for me. I must have been daydreaming, because I didn't hear the door at the top of the stairs. Instantly, I freeze. I hear 2 sets of footsteps coming down the hall. I can smell Alpha Edward's scent getting closer. I don't know who the other scent belongs to. Instinctively, I scramble and stand in the middle of the room just as they get to the doorway. He leans against the frame and crosses his arms. I can feel my whole body tremble as he stares. My eyes are glued to the ground. I do not want him to see my new eye color shining through. Can I help you, Alpha Edward?
That little stunt you pulled cost me a lot of money. And when you cost me money, you cost my whole family money.
I'm sorry, sir. I apologize, although I have no idea what stunt he is talking about. I look up just enough to see Marcy, the Alpha's daughter, is also standing in the doorway. Marcy takes a step closer, and I can feel tears starting to sting the corners of my eyes as my arms shake uncontrollably. How am I going to face her at school? I haven't had a conversation with her since her mom made me live in the dungeon anyway. But as far as I know, she had no idea I live down here now. She is going to tell everyone for sure. She is going to tell everyone for sure.
And do you know how disgusting the food has been for the past 2.5 days?
I just nod, still looking at the ground. I'm not trying to argue with a lunatic. It isn't my fault I had to have surgery. He's the one who broke a bottle and threw me into the broken pieces. If he hadn't, I would have been just fine. I would have been able to bounce back the next day and make breakfast like I was supposed to, even if I was banged up. There is a pause and he finally growls,
Where did all this furniture come from? Did you steal it?
No, sir. It was here when I got back from the hospital wing. I don't know who brought it.
You owe me, Talia. You also owe whoever turned your room into this comfortable space. You will work in the pack house until you pay back every cent, for the rest of your life if necessary. No more school. You don't need education to cook and clean.
He uses his alpha tone. I cannot disobey. With those words, the small flame of hope in my heart extinguishes. I don't get paid, so I don't know how I could ever pay back any debt. Luna Layla told me years ago that the room in the dungeon was payment enough for my services. I am less than an Omega now. I am a slave.
Marcy, teach her a lesson for wasting our money.
Yes, Alpha.
Tears stream down my face as the reality of my fate sets in. Alpha Edward is passing the torch of his cruelty down to his daughter, but I know better than that. He will never stop. Marcy reaches forward and claps the back of my neck. She forces me down into a bowing position and growls deeply.
You should be grateful my father doesn't banish you. If you were a rogue, I would make sure you never made it to the border of the territory.
A squeak escapes my throat. I am so scared I feel like I'm going to pass out. Marcy turns to her father.
Don't worry, Alpha. I've got the situation covered.
I hear Alpha Edward's footsteps walk back down the hallway as he leaves the dungeon. Marcy tightens her grip on my neck, extending her wolf claws, making me yelp. As soon as the door slams, Marcy releases my neck and kneels in front of me. Her face is contorted with anger. She grabs my shoulders, shaking me roughly.
What did you do to make him so mad?
Why isn't she doing anything to me like she told Alpha Edward she would? I stiffened my whole body, avoiding eye contact with her. I'm shaking. I can't even speak now. The thought of two people doing something bad to me regularly for the rest of my life, it just can't be real. Can it? How can the moon goddess allow this to happen? I want to leave the world. That's not an exaggeration. That's not me being dramatic. Please, moon goddess, don't let this happen. Just let me go. I shake so badly that I fall to my knees. I start to sob hysterically and my brain shuts down from being able to think rationally. Marcy grabs my chin and forces me to look at her in her cold gray eyes. She looks at me in horror for a moment.
What happened to your eyes?
She moves her hands up from my chin to just below my eyes. It feels like her hands are trembling against my face.
Are you a mixed blood or something?
All I can manage is to shake my head no between sobs. As I shake my head, I feel her starting to press her thumbs against my lower eyelids, obstructing my vision. Oh no, she's gonna poke my eyes out. She saw the violet color. She was going to blind me. I place my hands on top of her, trying to push her away. I hear myself screaming, "No, stop! Don't take my eyes out, please!" For just a moment, time freezes. I don't mean like it feels like time is standing still because I'm in the middle of a traumatic situation. No, time is frozen. Well, frozen for everything except for me, I should say. I can feel it in the air. It only lasts for a moment. I pulled Marcy's hands away from my face easily. The look of anger combined with confusion is stuck on her face. Next to her, a fly is suspended in midair. The second hand on the clock has stopped on the wall behind her. Drips of water aren't finished falling, leaving umbrella-shaped splashes in the puddles on the floor. What? Did the moon goddess hear me? Did she have mercy on me? Did she let my dream come true? I look back at Marcy with wide eyes. My hands are glowing purple. As quickly as it stopped, time started again. Marcy starts screaming and pushes herself away from me. The tops of her hands where my hands were touching her were burnt. I look down at my hands. They are normal again, not glowing purple. Seriously though, what happened? I shut my eyes tight, waiting for Marcy to retaliate.
If you tell anyone, I will kill you,
she says in my ear. Then she punches me in the stomach, knocking the air out of my lungs. I hear her footsteps running down the hall, then out the door. I don't know how long I sit like this, but when I finally open my eyes, I breathe a sigh of relief. She didn't harm me. Surely she was coming back. I sniff the air, but her scent is gone. I listened carefully, but there were no sounds in other parts of the dungeon. I'm alone. Moon Goddess, thank you for saving me. Thank you. I say out loud, just in case the miracle I just experienced was because of her. I feel exhausted, but starting to feel calmer. Okay, Talia, focus. I need to make dinner for the pack or Alpha Edward will find me and kill me. I don't think it's an exaggeration either. Even if I tried to run away, either he or Marcy would find me before I could get off the territory. I take a few deep breaths and make myself go down the hall to wash up at the sink. I splash cold water on my face and look in the grungy mirror. Both of my eyes are pure violet now. The silver streaks are starting to take over my hair now. It isn't like an old person's hair. It is silvery that almost shimmers, even in the low light of the dungeon. So weird. There's no way I'm going to be able to get used to this new look. I go back to my room and get dressed in the loose cotton gown and round hat that Diane gave me, pulling the brim low to hide my eyes. Throughout dinner, I received murderous glares from Alpha Edward. I make sure to keep my eyes to the floor so Alpha Edward would avoid seeing the color. Marcy glares at me every chance she gets. After dinner, it takes longer than usual to stock the pantries because whoever did it while I was in the hospital had no idea what they were doing. It is well after midnight when I flop down on my bed and close my eyes. June 20th, I think to myself. It's the last day of school. Well, for other people anyway, not me. You don't need the education to cook and stock pantries. Alpha Edward's words ring in my ears. Just another day for me, I suppose. I wallow in self-pity for a bit before I roll over and try to fall asleep. I'm almost asleep when I hear a woman's voice.
Hello?
I quickly scramble to my feet, looking everywhere for who it could be. I'm the only one in the room. I peek into the hallway and look around, but no one is there either. Hello? I whisper loudly down the hallway.
Ugh, Talia. This is no way for a warrior to behave. Get yourself together.
The voice chides. I realize the voice is coming from inside my head. Who are you? I ask hesitantly, worried that I've gone insane.
I am the messenger of the moon goddess, the whisperer to the moon. But I like you, so I'll let you call me Sylvie.
Whisperer of the moon. Are you my angel, Sylvie?
Maybe. Who knows?
You came a day too late. Our alpha just turned me into a slave less than 12 hours ago. We have no way to escape now. I feel tears welling up. I explain everything to her, what the alpha did, how the Luna made me live in the dungeon, all of it. I sob through the whole thing.
I'm here now, Talia. Don't worry. You are a child of the moon goddess. You are a warrior, which means that you are strong. You will get through this.
Sylvie, earlier, when my hands turned purple and burned Marcy, was that you?
Sort of. That was you, but I helped a little to activate your power. I can explain more later.
The next month and a half are the worst of my life. Thank Goddess for Sylvie. She keeps me going. Any motivation I ever had is gone now. Instead of just breakfast and dinner, now I make lunch too, and I'm still on pantry duty. Every moment of my day is filled with work. From the time I wake up, Sylvie convinces me to enjoy the time that she and I get to spend together, which is when I'm cooking meals. I find I do enjoy cooking while Sylvie is with me. No one comes to bother me. So, we get to have great conversations without interruptions. In the end, I have created something people will enjoy. I even found a couple of recipe books in the back of one of the kitchen cupboards and taught myself some new techniques and dishes to make. Everything else in my life is complete hell. Alpha Edward allows pack members to bully me and verbally mock me, and they take full advantage at every opportunity. He comes to my room multiple times a week to harm me and berate me for imaginary offenses I haven't committed. Sometimes Marcy comes and watches. A couple of times she even gets the whip for her father, but she never actually does anything bad to me. I swear I see her smiling while she watches. Sylvie tries to convince me to fight back, but that would be a death sentence. If I fight back, or even worse, if I shift, I'm certain I'd be dead. Sylvie keeps telling me everything will change when I shift. She keeps saying, "You are a daughter of the moon goddess, and you are her warrior." She is frustrated that I submit instead of fighting back. She is angry at me for keeping her a secret. She says doing so is making her weaker. Okay, Sylvie, a couple of problems with all of this. I try to tell her for the millionth time after we plop in. First, I have no idea when I'm going to be able to let you help me to shift. I'm up and working every day from 5 a.m. until after midnight. Secondly, if the Alpha finds out I'm talking to someone in my head, he might think I've gone nuts and he will banish me. Or maybe just skip banishing me and straight out kill me. Lastly, I'm a slave, not a warrior. I am not even an Omega.
Talia, you are not just a warrior. You are a child of the moon goddess. She is your mother.
Okay, I don't know when I can let you help, but at the first opportunity I will take it, Sylvie. I promise. This seems to satisfy her. We keep having the same argument about werewolves all being children of Moon Goddess versus being an actual child of the Moon Goddess. She doesn't understand the difference. I think she believes the Moon Goddess is my mom, like, in the literal sense of the word mother. Every day I'm completely exhausted by the time I get back to my room. It's an even longer day if I'm visited by Alpha Edward. Sylvie has been the best friend I could ask for, even if she is frustrated and getting weak. She is always supporting me and pushing me to not give up. I feel guilty that I can't support her in return. One day, Alpha Edward's personal Omega comes running up to me while I'm making lunch and tells me the Alpha wants to see me in his office right away. I drop what I'm doing and hurry to his office. I knock on the door quietly in case he's busy.
Come in!
He calls from inside. I pull open the door and peek inside. You called for me, Alpha? I asked as quietly as possible. The easiest way to get away from him is to use as few words and ask as few questions as possible.
Don't just stand there, come in.
He snarls. I rush inside and close the door behind me. I stay as close to the door as possible in case I need to make a run for it.
Talia, we have a delegation coming from the Dark Howlers pack next week. 20 wolves in total. All of their ranked members, their mates, the heads of their security and guards, and security detail for all of them. If all goes well, we'll be forming a pact with them. They must be treated with the utmost respect and courtesy. Bring lunches to the conference room every day and make a formal dinner every day next week. Keep their pantries stocked and stay out of the way. Got it?
I look up from under my hat, still keeping my face low enough that he can't see my eyes. Yes, even after almost 2 months, he still hasn't noticed that I have purple eyes. Or if he has, he hasn't pointed it out. He also hasn't said anything about my silver hair, which is just fine with me. Yes, sir.
Everyone will be here on Monday. Except for the Alpha, who's coming Tuesday. We'll be having a party after dinner to welcome him. Make sure there is enough food for the party. Give George the information for the additional food you need to make. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Good. We need to keep the Alpha happy. If not, I won't hesitate to let him harm you. Do you understand?
He stands up with his hands on the desk, looking very intimidating. Yes, sir.
Now get out of my sight.
He points to the door behind me. I scramble out of the room as fast as possible to find George. George is in charge of ordering supplies for the pack house. He should be in his office right now. My mind is already churning through the special foods to make, and the groceries I need for them. I also need extra supplies for the guest suite pantries. I wonder what kind of foods the Dark Howlers pack likes. Dark Howlers is the largest pack in the northern region, with my pack, Red Moon, being the second largest. Alpha Edward says Dark Howlers is vicious and strict. Most of their pack has served in the military at one point or another. They employ dark magicians and witches to help them keep power over neighboring packs. I wonder if they're going to bring any dark witches here. I hope not. I also hear their Alpha expels pack members who fail training tests because he doesn't want weak wolves in his pack, a guy I don't want to cross paths with. I get to George's office and knock on the door. I can hear noises coming from inside, but he doesn't answer. I knock a little louder. What the hell? He has to know I'm here. He knows my scent. Just tell me to come in already.
I don't like this guy, Talia. He's creepy. He stares at you.
Well, we don't have a choice but to work with him, Sylvie. He's the money.
Ugh, fine, but let's make it quick.
I knock again, more impatiently this time.
What is it?
He finally growls from inside. I open the door to find there's a female wolf sitting on his desk. She hides her face in his chest. I can't see who she was, but there is no denying whose scent it is. George is not wearing any pants and he is sweating.
Get the hell out, Talia. I'm busy here.
I stand there wide-eyed, jaw slack for a moment. I can't be seeing this. George is having a fun time in his office with Luna Layla.
Get out, Talia.
He yells louder. I come to my senses and slam the door closed. I run back to the kitchen as fast as I can. I can feel the drip of sweat down my face. If anyone finds out what I just saw, I am finished. Sylvie thinks it's hilarious. She laughs in my head throughout lunch preparation. I'm just trying to erase the scene from my mind. I'm about to take the platters out to the dining room when George comes charging into the kitchen. He makes a beeline for me and grabs me by the throat, pinning me against the wall. He hauls back his fist and punches me square in the face. The back of my head slams against the wall so hard I see stars. I can feel my nose snap as I slide down the wall with a groan. He makes a beeline for me and grabs me by the throat, pinning me against the wall. He hauls back his fist and punches me square in the face. The back of my head slams against the wall so hard I see stars. I can feel my nose snap as I slide down the wall with a groan.
You didn't see anything.
I can feel his claws extending into my neck, drawing blood.
You understand, you little monster?
I'm paralyzed with fear. I can't answer. I can't even nod. Suddenly, I feel like I'm falling backwards in my mind. I blink quickly a few times. It feels like I'm looking out of someone else's eyes.
Let her go.
The voice comes from me, but it isn't my voice. It's Sylvie. Her voice booms and sounds almost ethereal. The dishes on the counter shake as she growls deeply at George. I watch helplessly as my hands glow violet and grab George's wrists. As I grab him, his eyes widen in fear, and he starts howling in pain. A sizzling sound comes from where my hands connect with his skin. He quickly releases my neck, and we both fall to the ground.
How are you doing this? What are you, Talia?
I stand up, feeling much taller than my 5-foot-tall frame. Sylvie's voice booms from me.
I am a warrior child of the moon goddess, and if you tell anyone what has happened here today, I will make you suffer.
George scoots back on his backside away from me, wide-eyed, then clambers up and runs away as fast as he can. Suddenly, I come back into my normal state of mind, and I fall back to the ground, exhausted. My hands are no longer glowing, but they feel like they are on and full of static electricity. Sylvie, what was that?
I couldn't help it. He was threatening you.
Okay, but what was with the glowy purple burnt hands thing? That's not normal.
Talia, we've been through this. You are a child of the moon goddess. You are special. There is more too, you will see, after we shift for the first time. Until then, I'm not strong enough to show you. Besides, it isn't like I hurt him badly. His wolf will heal him before he is back in his office.
I do. Wait, you mean the moon goddess is my actual mom? Like she gave birth to me specifically? Not just like mother of all werewolves because she created us a gazillion years ago?
That's what I've been saying since I came. It's not my fault. You didn't believe me.
I picked up a towel to wipe the stain from my nose. Sylvie is already healing me from the break, but my face is going to be bruised for a couple of days. I pull my hat down low so no one can see the bruises, then pick up the first 2 platters and rush out to the dining room. Okay. Well, if you're able to do that to George, how come you can't do it to Alpha Edward or Marcy?
Well, I think it happened one time before, but I wasn't fully in control then. I can't do it now because he's your Alpha. I can't go against what he says. I can't attack your Alpha or his daughter.
I concede. I don't want to argue with her. I'm just trying to figure out the rules. I'm in uncharted territory here. I mean, it's cool territory, but I don't know what our limits are. Once all the platters are out, I make a list of all the extra supplies I need and put it in the box hanging outside George's office. That way, I don't have to face him again. I clean up the dining room after lunch and still have about 45 minutes until I have to start dinner. I decide to go to the stock room and put supplies on the pantry cart for later. As I work, I hear someone clear their throat behind me. I look up to find Marcy standing uncomfortably close to me. "Can I help you with something, Marcy?" I try to swallow the panic that instantly builds in my throat.
Talia, I just wanted to say, when I'm in control of the pack, you won't be treated the way you are now.
"Marcy, please stop." I put my hands up and push lightly against her to get her to move, but she's stronger than me and doesn't budge. I look up at her to see an evil grin distorting her face.
I see the way my dad treats you, Talia. You never complain. You just take it.
She moves closer, breathing deeply until she's fully pressing herself against me.
I bet you like it when he does it, don't you?
What? There is no way I heard her right, did I? "Marcy, I do not enjoy what your father does to me, and you're no better standing there watching him, instead of stopping him." I can feel tears stinging the corners of my eyes as she slips an arm around my waist. I cannot believe this is happening right now.
Don't lie to me, Talia. I do like men, but I can't deny your scent does something to me no man ever can. The way you beg before my father turns me on. It makes me crazy to think about what I'll do to you if I find you alone. I can't wait to get my hands on you. I want to hear your voice when I am with you. I want you on your knees so I can break you instead of him. I want you to be my captive, Talia, not his. We'll turn the dungeon into a lesson room just for us, instead of just your bedroom.
She's circling me now, too close, her breath brushing against my neck right below my ear. I freeze, but there's nowhere to move, no space left between predator and prey. I can feel her hands gripping my shoulders, forcing me still, pressing me down. "Are you insane?" I shove her hard, but she's too strong. She doesn't budge. "Get off of me, you lunatic." This whole time she's been thrilled, watching her father torture me like I'm her favorite show. What is wrong with this family? The look on her face shifts, from delighted cruelty to disgusted rage. Without warning, she steps back, then drives her elbow into my back, slamming me onto the table. She leans over, her breath cutting hot against my ear.
I know you fear me, Talia. Don't worry. Soon I'll convince my father to let me break you myself. I want to make him proud when I make you scream, but I don't think I can wait.
Her voice trembles with excitement, and her fingers dig into my arms, bruising my skin. All I can do is sob. I'm afraid to fight back or even speak. Sylvie can't help me. She's the alpha's daughter.